Good afternoon, good day, happy full moon. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Hello, welcome to our Guanyin practice. I know that last night's moon was a big one energetically. There were folks talking about having some really big emotions come up around the Scorpio full moon. The Scorpio full moon kind of churns things up from the bottom of the river. It's like a storm or a hurricane that blows in and kind of pulls everything to the surface. And then you need to do a little beach cleanup after that. So I hope that the full moon was, kind to you, fairly gentle. I hope whatever old rusty bicycles and shopping carts and whatever else that may have come up onto the beach are easy to clean. And Angelia says it was really great to get to speak with you and take part in last night's ceremony. Thank you, Angelia. We had a good time. It was last night. Our temple did the rite of her sacred fires, which is Sorita Deste's um, ritual that she created in 2010 or so ish for her book. And it's been done all over the world in many different languages. So our temple participated last night, and it was nice to be together. And thank you very much for those who came and for anyone who celebrated the rite of her sacred fires at home. I hope that you had a good one. Um, Tonight in the temple, we have our monthly full moon ceremony for Aphrodite. Hi, Gary. Good morning. Hi, Natalie Rose. Big emotions too. Uh-huh. Yes, it might. Yeah, yeah. It's an intense moon. Oh, I'm glad you liked our crystal class yesterday. Yeah, yesterday in the temple, it was just like bam, 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 bam all day long. We had a lot of things going on. But I really, really enjoyed being with you all and getting a chance to just do magic together. So now here we are we're still in the aura of this full moon, and the eclipse was last night. Remember that our last card of last week was Inkosazana, who is the goddess of divine alignment, celestial alignment. And now let's get ourselves ready for today's working. So let me find my little bell. We're in the month of Oshun in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. And what's really great is that um, I was initiated to Oshun in 2015 after 10 years of just having a personal and private devotion to her. And in the Orisha traditions, that's not usually the way it goes. It's not that typically you decide that you have an affinity for a particular Orisha and they also claim you in a divination. Often it happens differently, that you might have an affinity to a particular Orisha, but that might be because you already are close to them. But then another Orisha, in order to be there for you, in order to help you grow, will claim you in a divination. So what happened with me, kind of having this private devotion and then having that private devotion confirmed, and I had it confirmed twice by two different readers, two different diviners, and I received initiation to Oshun. So, sort of doesn't happen that way, but that's one of the ways that I knew that my devotion to her was um, seen, was heard and witnessed. So, when we work with Oshun, we, call upon her and ask for her to bring sweetness into our lives, to bring flow into our lives. We ask for support around healing and around magic, bringing our magical essence into the world. And Oshun she's been lining it up this month for a bunch of different things to happen in my life in such a way that I know she is here. Her symbols, signs, and the private language that we share with each other of symbolism and communication is coming through really strongly. So I am very grateful, and I say this prayer with my whole heart. I bow to Oshun. There is nowhere that it is not known that Oshun is as mighty as a king. She dances and takes the crown. She dances without asking. She arrives and trouble is appeased. She shakes her bracelets to come to the dance. She dances in the depths of richness. The water sounds like the bracelets of Oshun. We call to her and she answers with wisdom. She can heal what the doctor can't. The Orisha who heals with cool water. We can stay in the world without fear. And as a reminder, we're working this month with the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams. Aunt Nancy and betrayal. Aunt Nancy. That's interesting. This spider creature in the drawing and the name Aunt Nancy reminds me of Anansi, who is a traditional spider deity. Card number 20. Oh, okay, it is. It's Anansi. I see. Interesting. Oh, we're going to learn so much. Okay, so Aunt Nancy is of the diaspora. The original is Anansi or Kwaku Ananse of the Akan people, a trickster god, a sacred clown who sort of snuck into our global folk tales, it says. Gullah Geechee children heard tales of Aunt Nancy, the tricky spider woman. And Abiola Abrams writes, my Guyanese parents entertained us with Nancy stories about a witty teenage spider. So Aunt Nancy's shadow guidance is, who really betrayed you? Betrayals from others mirrors you betraying yourself. Betrayal is a web that disrupts everything you thought you knew. Use discernment in your relationships. Betrayal makes it difficult to trust. But without trust, your relationships are a lie. You have to learn that you can trust that no matter what happens and no matter how long it takes, you will survive and thrive. And the real question is, how have you betrayed or abandoned yourself? And our goddess declaration for today is, I am willing to know the truth. What a powerful, powerful card. Whew. When I was in my 20s, I had a girlfriend who she was a very, very strict Christian. And this girlfriend was very against my magical practice. My magical practice was important to me, but my relationship was more important to me. And so what I ended up doing was I sidelined all of my magic, all of my study in the world of spirit, I sort of locked it down for the time that she and I were together, which was almost 4 years. And during that time, I started to feel less and less and less like my real self. I felt like I wasn't myself anymore because I had given up something that was so fundamental to me, my magic, my practice, my spirit. But I did it for love and I tried my best. And in the end, that partner cheated on me with someone else, and then the relationship broke up. And I felt so betrayed. Of course, I was so hurt. I remember sort of like waiting up for her to come home one night, and she just never came home. And I knew, and it hurt so much. It was like, felt like my heart was being torn out of my chest. And then, of course, she moved out, we broke up, all the things happened. But about a week after she moved out and I was sitting there and I was struggling and I was thinking about like, oh my God, now I have to come. I already work a full-time job and now I have to still come up with like more money for rent and I don't have it and I don't know what I'm going to do. I was so scared and I was so anxious about my life and if I would be okay. And I was laying in bed and I was restless and I couldn't sleep and I felt just like awful, and it was probably about June of that year. And I felt so restless. I just went outside and I looked up at the sky and I saw the stars and the moon. And I thought to myself, like I put away the one thing that could have helped me in this situation, my magic. I don't have it anymore. I don't know where it is. I don't know even how to find it. I don't even know. I don't even have any candles. I don't have anything to even do anything. And I was so angry. I just threw my hands up at the sky and I went, like, what can I do? Like that. And I watched a strike of lightning go across the sky in such a way that it looked like it was to come between my hands. And then 1 minute later, my phone rang and I picked it up. I was like, "Hello?" And it was like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. And it was one of my beloved witchcraft teachers from New York. She grew up in Long Island. And I was like, "Hello?" And she goes, "Oh my God, you bitch, you woke me up. What's going on?" And I got myself back on the path to my magic. I was able to see, it took a little time, but I was able to see that I had betrayed myself by giving up a core part of who I really was in order to be in that relationship. A really good relationship will never ask you to not be some fundamental part of yourself. We have to change in relationships. We have to adapt. We sometimes have to deal with difficulties, differences of opinion. Sometimes we have our ebb and flow. I feel closer to you. I feel less close to you. These kinds of things, they happen where we're back and forth. But if a partner or a friend or someone else insists that you fundamentally alter who you are in order to be in their life, and then you do it, you have betrayed yourself. And there's hardly any way that that relationship is not going to end with them betraying you. Because the minute you betray yourself, it's like you've opened the door. And now whoever wants to can just come take what they want of your essence, of your life force. You will find that you develop an inner voice that starts bossing you around. And it's not your own. It's someone else's expectation of you inside that's gotten inside and it's bossing you around. And you'll think it's you. Going back to the original root, it is you, because you allowed yourself to think that by fundamentally changing who you are, you could somehow win the love of another, the care of another, the friendship of another. If you just wait for the people who care about you for who you really are, you will have amazing, durable, loving friendships and relationships, and you won't have to give up who you are. The people who love you will love you. It's not like they won't know that you have differences of opinion, difficulties, or flaws. It's that they don't mind. They care. They care enough. Betrayal has been a theme in my life. It's a very scorpionic kind of theme that's come up in my life many times, of feeling like, gosh, I trusted someone and they really let me down, or wow, I really gave of myself and then this person just ignored it or pretended I didn't, or acted like something, I did that was really meaningful meant nothing. But in the end, if we pay attention to it, really pay attention to it, were we giving freely, or were we giving so that they would like us? Were we giving because it was naturally in ourselves to open up and to give? Or were we giving because we had an attachment to an outcome, and our choice to give was like our bargaining chip to manifest that outcome? Because if that's the case, that is the betrayal of the self. When we honor ourselves, we honor that little voice that'll say, but I'm not like that, or I disagree, or I don't feel comfortable here. That little voice is telling us the truth. There's a woman who betrayed me, it was a very painful betrayal, told lies about me and, spread gossip about me, and was very kind of, very like little miss thing about town about it. And everything that she's actually said about me are the things that she herself was doing. My betrayal of myself was that when I watched her do that about others, I didn't see it coming that it would be me next. Good morning, Josephine. Good morning, Sydney. Good morning, Jenny. Yeah, and Jenny says, agreed. We need to honor our inner voice. And Angelia says, this is a call to shadow work for sure. And Willow says, crazy how much I needed to hear this. I've lost friends because of my magic and path, or because I found my voice. So I'm waiting for my tribe now. And yeah, and Caragwen says, so hurtful. And hi, Paris. Oh boy, Paris says, bingo. Yeah, I think a lot of us have been there. And actually, I know a lot of you have been there because I read for you. So I know when you've been there. I know we share this in common. And, we have that sense of like, oh, I gave up on myself, or I took some aspect of myself and put it in someone else's hands. And here's the thing, when we want love, it is a very natural sort of tactic to think, I know what I'll do. I'll take this precious aspect of myself and just entrust it to the person, to let them know how much I care, and to let them know that I love them and that I want to, be closer to them, or that, that I trust them. And then if they treat it badly, then we think, oh, was bad for me to trust. It's never wrong to trust when there is a basis for that trust. It is never wrong to trust when there's basis for trust. But when you give trust as a bargaining chip to get what you want, you will walk away empty-handed from that poker table. You have to learn, we all have to learn, to give exactly the amount of trust that has been earned. And it's not a matter of like testing or game playing. It's literally just a matter of time and witnessing how people behave. I had someone say to me, we didn't know each other very well, and she said, I just feel, like, I know we just met, but I already feel like we like are best friends. And I was like, actually, um it takes about 5 years to become my friend for real. Like, we're cool, and I really like you, and I so see the potential, but just so you know, I've been through a lot. I have a lot of baggage, and I have a trust process. And ultimately, it'll take about 5 years for me to feel like I'm actually truly a friend, not a friend like Facebook friend, not a friend like social media friend, a real friend. Yeah, vetting character, says Jenny. That's right. And and Kerrigan says, lol. Yeah, Kerrigan's been my friend for over a decade, so she knows. She's like, it takes me time. I'm slow. I have to warm up. And I have to really see who you are. I especially have to see if a person maintains the ability to coherently and consistently see me and be themselves exactly for who we are, and have that be okay. I need to know that someone can see me if I'm having a bad day and not think that bad day defines me. And I need to know I can see that person on a bad day and be like, okay, if this is a bad day, I can hang. I can hang with your bad day. Paris says, I am learning this from you. Well, and we are now several years deep in our friendship, Paris. And yeah, Jess says so much this. Yeah, I need to see that consistency. And we do. We need to see it. I need to see that there's coherence, and that we can have bad days and get over it. And to me, that's the true trust. Yeah, 5 years, Paris, and counting. We are reaching a milestone. And I think when we all of us allow ourselves to have not, there's this like delicate balance between bargaining chip, over giving, and then being suspicious. And you don't want to be any of those. You want to basically be measured, kind, open, forgiving, and careful without being guarded, shut down, closed, or suspicious, and also without being too eager to please, too involved or focused on the other person's opinion of you. It's this interesting thing. And just like the Dharma, it's a middle way. It's a middle way. A little of this, a little of that. And being in that middle way, I will not go to extremes of overgiving, over pleasing. I will not go to extremes of shutting myself down, building walls, or being suspicious. I will instead allow for the possibility that we're going to grow slowly into genuine, real, earned closeness over time. And when you do that and you have someone like that in your life, it is worth preserving. And then, even if there's an argument, even if there's a disagreement, even if there's an uncomfortable moment, even if there's a major difference of opinion, you think to yourself, all right, this might be hard, but you know what? It's worth it. And it is worth it. And I certainly think it's worth it with so many of you who I know who I've been with now for years. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my friends, whether Facebook friends or online friends or even real life in-person friends. I'm very grateful. I don't take any of it for granted. I'm not the best at always expressing that because I am a little bit shy about sharing my emotions publicly in a certain way. But I really, really appreciate the people who have been there for me in my life, especially at the times of betrayal that I've endured. And I love that you're here to help me see and be the best self that I can be. So thank you. And I hope this was helpful. Let's really pay attention. Let's really dig into this little Aunt Nancy today, this divination, and really think about times in our lives when we experienced betrayal and what did we do to abandon ourselves along that path so that we won't repeat it. And that is our short bit for today. Now let's dive into our our chanting. And as usual, starting with 3 prostrations before the shrine. And let's take refuge in the Dharma that will never betray us. Namo Gurube. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. Today we're chanting for Sarah, who is about to begin her chemo. We're chanting for Mana. And anyone else who needs it today. And let's recite the 4 immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I'm getting tangled in my skirt here. Here we go. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way, May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. We're down to just the bitter end here. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. O Mahung. 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 Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, calling upon the one who truly will never betray us in her infinite compassion. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. 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 And our prayer to Yeshet Sogyal, Ying Chuktaki Somo Kachenza, Dusum Kunshin Pema Jingyeki, Sangso Dupo Dechen Sogyal Mar, Sowa Dipso Chuktu Nudrup So, Mother of Space, foremost of Dakinis, Lady Karchansa, gatherer of the vast secret treasury of Padmakara, knower of all past, present, and future, great bliss queen, Mother Sogyal, to you we pray, grant us cities, ordinary and supreme. Ying Chuktaki Somo Karchansa, Disum Kunchin Pema Junye Ki, Sang So Dupo Dechin Sogyal Mar So Wadeb So Chuktin Nudrup So. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending out our love and our compassion to those who need it today. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth and long life. Prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Swasti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of supreme bliss, Yeshe Wangmo, be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher, and wishing everyone an absolutely wonderful and brilliant day of facing the spaces where you may have betrayed yourself, that allowed something else to kind of access your center, and reclaiming that. Thank you for your medicine that you freely share with the world. It's much appreciated. Oh, thank you very much, Angelia. Hope everybody has a good one. We'll be back tomorrow.